Well, it is Friday, December the 6th, out here in the greenhouse. Last night we had probably the coldest night so far this year, here in 2024. And I think it got down to, what was it, 28, 29 degrees, something like that, if I remember correctly. That's what they were calling for anyway. I didn't actually see what it got down to, but they was calling for 28 degrees. Right now it is about 40 degrees outside, and it is 83 in here in the greenhouse. Good and toasty, and keeping the heater running here to keep the temperature up. And so I haven't made a video in a while. Nothing new really going on. We do have some pots of peppers my daughter dug out of her garden. She wanted to overwinter. She cut way back, same as I did on previous videos and some of my Dutch bucket aquaponics over here. I did yesterday before this cold hit, took up some a couple of the big elephant ear plants that was in another part of the yard. And just to save a few, they were going to be froze back anyway probably, so I got them planted in here in the greenhouse, and I trimmed them back, some of the bad leaves, and mulched them up around the bottom of them, watered them in real good from here around the pond. Another thing I just got through doing a few minutes ago, I don't have enough goldfish in my pond. I've only got 4 about like this, so really they're not putting out the nutrients I need for my Dutch bucket aquaponics. I'm gonna have to get some more fish in there, so some of my plants are looking a little light colored. They're not getting enough nutrients, but what I did do is I took each one of my tomatoes. I've got a bush Goliath, and I don't know, Federally, I think that's how you pronounce that, Federally. A black creme. So that's 1, 2, 3 varieties, not 4. And I've placed one of the cuttings. Each one of these has got cuttings in the bucket that I was rooting besides the main plant that I moved in here earlier this season and placed in. And these were plants out of the raised beds that I put in here and trimmed way back. And you can see it's had a lot of growth in the last couple months, but yeah, they're lacking. They need some iron. So I put one in ground here, and I just placed them directly behind the bucket so I could remember which one was which. That's black creme, the Federally. I placed one in ground right behind here, and the bush Goliath. Now it's a little bitty one. I placed right there beside that wooden stake, and put them in ground. The ground is pretty rich in here. A couple years of placing mulch on top of the ground. I don't mix it in, just place it on top like nature does, and let it, as they decay, they seep down. So that's one thing I did today. Also on these golden berries, 2 of them, I don't want to do all of them yet, 2 of them actually snipped the top. They're getting kind of long and lanky, so I snipped just pinched off the top of these 2 right here, and see if they'll branch out over the next month or 2. Also, if you've watched my videos, I had planted yellow squash in this bucket, seeds, and just to see how they would do in the winter time in here in these Dutch buckets. And of course they're not growing near as quickly as they would in the summertime or spring out in the garden. Nighttime temperatures do drop a little bit in here. In this bucket I had placed some, I'm gonna have to fix that. I had placed some zucchini seeds, and they didn't do worth the flip. So I had some cucumbers here, and the other day I took and put 2 of the cucumbers up here in this bucket just to see how they'll do. And so that's some things we have going on. But other than that, it's just another day in the greenhouse, and one of the things that I do have going on, and I've made videos of it, is the air layering of this white sapote tree. Earlier this season I had did an air layer on this trunk right here, branch, whatever you want to call it, and once it rooted, I made a video of that and I potted it up here. Put another air layer down there on the bottom of that, and then I put an air layer on this trunk here up high, and that's about 5 feet off the ground right there. So I have all this. Once this roots, this will probably leaf out, and then I'll decide whether to make another air layer on this or not, and bring this tree to one trunk or not. But I did order some scion wood for 2 different named varieties. This is a seedling, not a grafted. I ordered 2 named varieties. I don't remember what them were at the moment, of scion wood. And so I'll be grafting one onto this air layer and one onto this one. Depending how big the scions are, if I get more than one, if I can make more than one out of each one of them, which is often the case, then I'll do more grafting. But the plan is, as of right now, is to at least put one on this air layer. Even while it's still rooting, I'll go ahead and put it on there, and one on this one here. So everything's going along nicely. We've got pots of little things everywhere in the greenhouse. Show this here back. Figs everywhere. Figs there, figs there. Moringa, Vulpina, dwarf ice cream bean. I've lost most of them, but these 2 are doing pretty good, and I've got a small one here that's look like it's going to die, but it's leafing out. Them look brown, but they're actually a reddish color. They're new leaves. I've got rambutan. I believe that's what is in this bucket. Yeah. And so we got little seedlings popping up everywhere in here. Okay, so this is a little bit later on after I've made the video, later on in the evening. And crazy me, I was calling this my rambutan seedlings, and trying to edit this video. I'm gonna make this right. It even said it on the side, and I doubted myself. Notice I was like, but anyway, it's cherimoyas. We planted them on September the 30th. From some seeds I received in the mail. A rambutan were planted a month later in October 31st, and so they have not, in that pot right there, and they haven't started coming up yet. They are actually across the aisle here and right underneath my white sapote tree. So anyway, just wanted to clarify that and correct my crazy mistake. That's why I make tags and write on stuff, and I doubted it even though I seen that. So anyways, there you go. Wrong made right. I got my longans, my guava. Things are coming along. And so some little mango seedlings over there. Got a avocado coming up right there from seed. That's one of the big tropical avocados, and I made a video on that. Got a seed about that big around, so we'll see how that does. A lot of little papaya seedlings, and a little bit bigger papayas. Some lychee seedlings. Let's see. What else do I have around here? I think I done pointed out the longans. So anyways, the cherimoya is doing good. Froze back to the ground last year. And all this growth, I've even pinched it off. This is over 4 feet. Maybe right at 4 feet. I haven't measured it. And it also brought up some more from the root here. And we'll see how that goes. I may leave it a multi-trunk. I'm not sure if, as it gets a little bigger, if I can divide any of these trunks off and make a separate tree or not. If you know, if you have any idea on that, let me know if you've ever done that before. So some of the citrus is doing wonderful, flowering, little fruitlets. We'll see how many of them actually hang on to the tree. See that? That's my pond can. And my Hamlin Sweet Orange. Got little baby fruitlets all over it. Of course, I've been watching this pretty closely. The one Hamlin Orange from last year that's on the tree is lightening up. Hopefully it'll turn color and I'll be able to try it this year. So some of the other citrus aren't really doing much. The Meyer Lemon is blooming. Calamanda's blooming. They've got fruit on them. The tropical passion vine is, man, that's probably 4.5 foot tall, climbing this string. And I've showed before, we've got several little pots of that. This is the next in size. They kind of germinated at odd intervals. These were all planted at the same time. That's maybe a foot and a half tall. I mean, look how small them are. And then the smallest ones, all these were planted at the same time out of the same fruit. I don't know. But anyways, that's just the way it is sometimes. We've got a little bit of everything going on in here. Everything's doing fine, pretty much. 30-something baskets, hanging baskets of different sundry, from cactuses to other types of succulents and spider plants and ice plants and Lord, a little bit of everything. The spider plant is doing wonderful. Won't be long, we'll probably pot up some of these, make another pot out of them. But look at this. These ferns we've had for a couple years, and these pots busted this year. And they're growing all down out of the bust. It's going to be like a ball. This fern's going to make me like a ball of ferns. But anyways, there's my... Never had much luck with these staghorns, but she's putting on new growth. Every now and then I'll take and dip her in the fish water and keep her nutrients in there like that. So the fish pond itself, right now all we have is creeping Jenny and some rushes in here, but we've got pots down here, several different little pots. I don't know if you can see that one there. There's 4 of them in here, and one here that have some small type water lilies in them. Pink marshmallow in a pot right there in the water. So anyways, hope if you have plants and stuff, that you're doing well with yours. And I just like to just come in here and stand in awe. I don't really know what I'm doing. The good Lord just helps me, I guess, and blesses me. But there you go. God bless.